Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and today I'm here to talk more of an in-depth analysis for The Walking Dead Season 9 Episode 4, specifically Easter eggs and callbacks that you guys might have missed. I love talking about this kind of stuff, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, I will be doing it for, future videos, so if you do enjoy, be sure to leave a like, but let's jump right into it, starting off with the beginning of the episode. Now, early on in the episode, Michonne is out killing some walkers, and she sees a walker that is hung on a tree. Now, she looks at it for a while and she's definitely, uncomfortable looking at it. But the question is why? Because this is a little callback to Gregory. Now, Gregory only died a couple episodes ago, but he also was hung and Michonne is right there to see it. And we saw in episode 1, if you remember, how uncomfortable Michonne was looking at that, especially because those little kids saw it last second. So Michonne is definitely feeling some, trauma, and we saw a lot of that in this episode also, which brings me to my next callback, which is this one right here with the baseball bat. Because shortly after Michonne is looking at this walker, another walker attacks her. She drops her katana and picks up this baseball bat and starts beating the walker. And look, after she kills the walker, she's looking at the baseball bat and she's kind of terrified because it's reminding her of Negan's baseball bat, Lucille, and how bloody that was after killing Glenn and Abraham. Also, see this later on in the episode when Michonne is reading to Judith, she flips the page of the book and there's a picture of a baseball bat and she kind of freezes there. So Michonne is definitely facing some trauma, and obviously going down to the cell and talking to Negan didn't help because she was upset. And she definitely wants to kill Negan, but she's not, because she's being very selfless and respects Rick and loves Rick and is doing it for him. But Michonne had a lot of little callbacks this episode. Another very interesting Easter egg in this episode with Michonne is that when Michonne was talking to Negan, Negan asked her what happened to your son Andre, and Michonne answered by saying he's just gone. Now this is very interesting and could be a bit of a foreshadow, because in the comics Michonne has a daughter and it's kind of like the same thing. We never really know what happened to her daughter, and in the TV show we only saw Andre in that dream sequence back in episode 4 when she was sleeping in the car after the prison got destroyed. But it's interesting because in the comics Michonne reunited with her daughter with, she got introduced to the Commonwealth, and we've already gotten nods to the Commonwealth in the TV show, so I am expecting us to see the Commonwealth sometime in the future. So is the possibility of Michonne reuniting with her son, is that possible? I definitely think so, because you know how The Walking Dead works. If we don't see the person die, they're not dead 100%. Now moving on to Negan, we learn more about Negan's backstory this episode. We learned that his wife had cancer. Now this is a direct takeaway from the Here's Negan comic book series from Robert Kirkman. That is a mini series that talks about how Negan became who he is today, and it's a very good comic book series and I recommend it if you are a fan of The Walking Dead. But that being said, it's interesting because Negan's wife actually died right when the apocalypse started. So Negan was at a hospital when this whole thing went down, similar to Rick, who was at a hospital when the zombie apocalypse started. A little bit of a connection between the two of them right there, because there's a lot of talk, comparing the two of them. So the fact that both of them started the apocalypse at a hospital is very interesting. Now moving on to the best stuff of the episode, aka the Rick and Daryl stuff. We had a lot of callbacks and little, Easter eggs during this segment of the episode. Now the first one I want to talk about is this one right here, where we see Rick and Daryl zooming past, with the motorcycle, and they go past this dirt road. Now this happened early on in the episode, so we didn't notice it, but look where this is. This is exactly where Rick gets impaled. Even after Rick and Daryl are out of the camera shot, the camera still focuses on this spot, so it definitely was a little bit of a hint that at the end of the episode, this place is gonna be the game changer for Mr. Rick Grimes. Now let's talk about Rick and Daryl's fight, because once they fell into the walker pit, this was a little bit of a callback, or maybe it's just me, but I saw this as a callback to the governor when he fell in the walker pit, because a lot of people do this. They make big ass holes in the ground for walkers to come inside, which is a good technique because they definitely trap walkers, but if somebody falls in it, you're in some big trouble. Like we saw with the governor was in some big trouble, and now Rick and Daryl were in a lot of big trouble, but luckily they did escape. Now after Rick successfully gets out of the pit, he helps Daryl escape by putting his hand out and says the words, "Brother, take my hand." Now this is a callback to The Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 5 titled Chupacabra, where Daryl was out looking for Sophia. He got injured and he started hallucinating Merle. And while Daryl is trying to climb up over this until Merle is on top of it, you know, with his hand out saying, come on, little brother, grab your friend Rick's hand. And I absolutely love this callback because that's exactly what Daryl does this episode by grabbing his friend Rick's hand and escapes out of the pit. Let's talk about Jada's for a minute though, because in this episode, Jada's brought over a walker to Gabriel and was gonna have him get bit by her because, you know, Gabriel is apparently now an A or whatever that means. So anyways, look at the walker. Little cool Easter eggs here. So the first of all, the walker is wearing this necklace. Now the necklace is actually pretty significant because this necklace is the same necklace that the woman that worked at Father Gabriel's church back in season 5 wore. We even saw her in season 5 at the food bank, and that walker was coming at Gabriel and really scared him. So this lady definitely has a connection with Father Gabriel. And earlier on in this season, in episode 2, when Gabe and Anne were getting close together, Anne actually drew the picture of the woman. So that's how, you know, she knew about the necklace and stuff, because Father Gabriel was telling her about her. So the fact that she did this says a lot about her character and kind of shows how messed up Anne really is. And this isn't the first time that Jada has done something weird, you know, like capturing somebody and making them fight like a weird looking walker. She did it in season 7 episode 10 with Rick, captured him and made him fight Winslow, and then she captured Rick again in season 8, made him fight that weird looking walker in his underwear, and Rick completely destroyed everybody, badass Mr. Rick Grimes. And then she captured Negan in season 8 and you brought out that weird looking walker again. So the whole thing here is that Rick, Negan, and Gabriel are all A's. And when she captures these A's, she brings out a freaky looking walker to like fight them or something. So hopefully we learn more about Jadis later on. Hopefully we learn more about her on Rick Grimes' final episode. But yeah, Jadis, you know, this whole little story is a bit repetitive, but I'm still intrigued. And one more Easter egg you might have missed, Mr. Daryl Dixon dropped the F-bomb this episode. He did it in a very slick way. And AMC has this new rule, I believe, that you can get 2 F-bombs a season. So that was number 1. We're going to have to wait and see what number 2 is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be a Negan F-bomb, because Negan is, you know, very famous for cussing in the comics. So hopefully, you know, Negan gets that second F-bomb in season 9. And taking a look at next week's episode, whew, that is gonna have a lot of callbacks and Easter eggs, so I can't wait to talk about it. But as far as these type of videos, you know, Easter egg and callbacks, it's all up to you guys ultimately. You know, if you guys enjoy them, the people who watch my videos, I'm gonna keep making them. So I'm gonna leave it off there in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts, leave your opinions, and leave any, you know, Easter eggs that I might have missed. And thanks for watching, guys. It's been all things film, and until next time, peace.